Good afternoon, everybody. It is meteorologist Aegis Weather Forecast, and welcome back to the video, guys. This is going to be a video about the very strong thunderstorms from today all the way to parts of Friday for parts of the the south central, all the way to the plains, and then even possible flooding for parts of the Ohio Valley. There's going to be a ton of rain for parts in the Midwest and a lot of possibilities of having some tornadoes in the south central and the lower parts of the plains. So guys, hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get to it. So I'm gonna show you guys the active alerts first. Basically what we have associated with this, basically the storm is just the lightest amount of it's gonna start today, so that's why we don't have some severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado watches or that. So basically it's just gonna get started early tomorrow morning and late tonight. So this is why there's not really a lot of it left, or not a lot of active alerts. So if we look at this area, this is where we're going to have the most amount of alerts associated with this. We have a lot of counties in Missouri and Kansas with flood watches, and then we have some flood advisories for parts of southern Kansas. And we actually have about 2 counties in southern Nebraska and northern Kansas actually have severe thunderstorm warnings, actually, so that's where we can have some possible heavy bands tonight. And then again, still flood warnings and flood advisories for these areas. They've actually been there for weeks, actually about a month in a row. They've had some flood warnings in the Mississippi River and all that, and then we actually have some severe thunderstorm warnings for the Miami area. But this is basically what we have for this storm right now. But let's get to the radar part. So this is what's going to happen tonight. So this is tonight right now. We have some possibilities of some heavy rain in the Missouri and Arkansas border. But it's going to really start. We're going to have a really strong band at first in Kansas. So really early tomorrow morning, we're actually going to have really, really strong rain. Possibilities of some EF2 tornadoes right here for the southwestern part of Kansas. It's actually really surprising to see this big blob of really heavy rain. And then we're going to have a band of lighter amounts, but maybe some severe weather for the southeastern part of Nebraska. But we're actually having some really strong rain for the Kansas area, and that's going to bring a band for really strong band of heavy rain tomorrow. So tomorrow it's really going to bring in some heavy rain for the plains. It's going to be more of a Kansas and Missouri tomorrow. It's going to bring some really the strongest bands on the border of northwestern Missouri and northeastern Kansas. Really strong bands actually there. And then we're going to have possibly some rain for the northern parts of the band, possibly some severe weather and rain. But and then central Kansas going to have some really strong bands and possibly of tornadoes and large hail. Oh, sorry guys, my voice, I actually feel really sick. My voice really hurts. Okay, so if we go to Missouri, if we go more into tomorrow, we're going to have some really strong bands in Missouri. It's going to be more into the near the St. Louis area. You're going to have possibilities of feeling that thunder for the western or eastern part of Missouri, and then we're going to have some strong bands for Iowa and Kansas, but a really possible flooding for the northern part of Missouri that are not getting this really strong thunderstorms. But it's by Tuesday, we're going to have a bit break, and then as we go into the night of the night of Tuesday and the morning of Wednesday, we are really going to have a big a really big band, which is going to be confirmed. It's going to be really put together. This band's really going to be put together, and it's not going to be like all over the place. It's really going to be put together for parts of the southern part of Kansas all the way to northern Texas. Oklahoma City can probably hear that thunder, as it's going to be really strong for parts of the northern part of Kansas all the way to the southern part of Kansas. Really strong bands of heavy rain, possibilities of some tornadoes in northern Texas, and actually possibilities of having some tornadoes. So just be careful, guys, if you are in this path. As we go more into tomorrow, more into the Wednesday afternoon, we're really gonna have not like more like a nice, but like a really put together storm. It's really going to be put together with the strongest bands in front of. So if this strong band's moving really fast, about 50 miles per hour 50 miles per hour to the east. It's really going to move fast. So once you get hit by this band, you're probably going to have some flooding threats since it's going to be behind it. And this is going to stretch all the way from the southern part of Iowa all the way to the northern part of Texas. We have big cities including Oklahoma City. We have parts of northern Texas. Really strong bands. I'm really surprised on what's going to happen here. And then the strongest bands, as we go more into the Wednesday night, that band's going to start to split up a little bit. It's going to be a bit more to the north, and then we're going to have some rain or light rain on the part of the Kansas area. And then we're going to have that strong thunderstorms get a bit stronger for the Dallas area and for the northeastern part of the state. Really strong bands where that low is really going to be strong for the northern part of Texas. And then the western part of Arkansas can have possibility of having severe weather. It's going to go all the way to central Texas, possibility of severe weather. And then it's going to move on to the areas of the Louisiana areas, possibly some lighter bands and for parts of the Mississippi and Arkansas border, and then smaller bands for near the Houston area. But again, it's going to be a bit calmer as it arrives first in those areas. So let me show you guys what these radars are going to be for the plains. By tomorrow, we're going to have some flooding threats for the Iowa area. We're going to have some possibilities of having those bands start to form in the central part of Kansas, northern part of Kansas, as we get into tomorrow. And then it's really going to start to intensify as we get into the Wednesday hours. You can see really strong bands right here forming from Missouri, Iowa, and parts of southern Kansas. And we're gonna have some possibilities of flooding here. It's really strong areas with getting a lot of rain, including the Iowa area can get a really lot of rain. And this is where we're gonna have the flooding threat. It's not gonna be really big severe weather. It's just gonna be a really big area for possible flooding. Central Iowa can get a lot of rain. Southern Wisconsin, a lot of rain. Northern and southern parts of Nebraska can get a lot of rain. And it's really going to intensify as we get up. Like, the rain's really going to come down at a high rate for parts of the southern part of, or southern and central Wisconsin, and parts of the, parts of Iowa, Minnesota, possibilities of some severe weather for Madison. We're actually going to have a possibility of some snow forming in for parts of the northern part of Wisconsin, possibilities of up to 5 inches for the northern part. And then that rain's really going to come down for parts of Green Bay all the way to the Milwaukee area, and then some strong rain all the way to Nebraska, and it's going to be stretching. Chicago is going to be near that low, possibly some really strong thunderstorms over there, but again, a big possibility some possible snow, but that's not what we're going to be focusing on. But that snow's possibly coming down really fast. So this is what day one's going to look like. So like I said, the strongest part today will be in the Kansas area, but we're gonna have. Let's start with the marginal. The marginal is gonna stretch all the way from the point of the Illinois border all the way to the Texas and Mexico border, and then we're gonna have that slight chance, including parts of Nebraska, Missouri, Texas, and Oklahoma, and that enhanced risk for the central part of Kansas. So the marginal includes Austin, Oklahoma City, Miami, Corpus Christi, and Hialeah, but the Hialeah and Miami will be in the Florida. But we're going to be focusing on this right here. And then the enhanced risk, or the slight chance, will include a lot of big cities, including Kansas City, Wichita, Lincoln, Amarillo, Overland, Kansas. So we're going to have some really big cities in there for parts of the plains. And then enhanced risk will again include parts of Salina, Garden City, Dodge City, and Newton, Kansas. So we're going to have those southern cities, or south and central cities in Kansas for today. It's going to get a lot worse tomorrow in the south, as those really strong bands will start to form in the northern part of Texas and southern part of northern part of Texas and southern part of Kansas. And that's where those really strong bands are going to start to form. Again, that marginal is going to stretch all the way from the Illinois border with Missouri to the Texas border with Mexico, and then we're going to actually have some possibilities of some marginal for parts of Houston and some areas in Louisiana. So the marginal will include Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, Austin, and Fort Worth. A lot of big cities in Texas. And then we're going to have some areas in the slight, which includes Wichita, Wichita Falls, Abilene, Texas, Midland, Texas, and Lawton, Oklahoma. Again, Lawton's going to be in there, and then the enhanced risk is a lot bigger with a million people will be or about 1,009,000 people will be under this enhanced risk, including Lubbock, Amarillo, Big Springs, Plainview, and Pampa, Texas. So basically, Lubbock has actually been in these areas for a really long time. They've actually been in the hands for a lot. So basically, we're going to have severe thunderstorms are expected across the southern high plains Tuesday, and hail, wind, and tornadoes are all expected. So again, we're going to have some really strong winds and strong thunderstorms possible. If we go into the day 3, we're going to have a big slight chance here. The cities in the slight chance will include Houston, San Antonio, Texas, Austin, Kansas City, and Wichita. A lot of big cities, and it stretches for the population of 20 million people will be under the slight chance to a lot bigger compared to day 2. And the enhanced risk is actually a lot bigger too, as it's really, this band's really going to be actually really, not to be weird, but this band's really going to be really thick. It's going to cover a lot of land, this heavy band, and then a lot of areas will actually have some possible flooding. So that's the people enhanced will include about 12 million people, a lot more. So it looks like the worst day will be day 3, including Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, and Tulsa, and Arlington. If I'm not wrong, I believe Dallas, this is one of the first times you've been in the enhanced risk all year. And then by day 4, we have a 15% chance of having severe weather stretching for parts of Chicago, Indianapolis, parts of Little Rock. We have some big areas, Chicago, Houston, Indianapolis, Columbus, and Austin. And then we have parts of the some areas in the 15% chance. So guys, let's get to the amount of rain or precip we're going to have for this storm. So basically, we're going to have a lot of precip for parts of the Midwest, actually. We're going to have up to 3.5 inches to actually 4 inches for some of these areas. The most amount of rain will be in the southern part of Iowa right here, where they can actually have up to 4 inches right here. We're going to have another bands for some areas, including up to 4.3 inches right here, too. And then actually a lot of rain for the northern part of Wisconsin. Usually you don't get a lot of rain, but getting up to 2.5 inches right here, and then up to 2.8 inches right here too. So it's going to be a lot of rain, especially for the Wisconsin area. And then we're going to have a lot of rain for the southern parts of Kansas, and then we can have up to 3.3 to 3.5 inches for the southern Nebraska area. So let's check out now the Kansas area, really zoomed in. This is Kansas, this is Nebraska, Iowa. So yeah, we have some areas around Kansas. So we're going to have, again, 3.3 to 3.4 inches for southeastern part of Kansas or Nebraska, and then 2.4 inches for the western part. This is really going to have a lot of rain in the southern part of Kansas. This is we're going to have the most amount of rain. We're going to have up to 8.4 inches maximum, which will be right here in this white spot. But again, for the southern part of Kansas right here can actually reach up to 5.2 inches of rain in one storm, guys, in the next couple of days. And then right here we can actually reach up to 4.5. Right here we have 3 ranging the 4.5 too. This is where we can have the 8 inches of rain, really big amounts of rain. And then we have the 3.4 to 3.6 inches for the Iowa area. So let me just go to the South Central now. We can have a band of some rain for Oklahoma, northern Texas, up to 3 inches of rain. And then this is where we can have the biggest amount of rain right here for the part of the southern part of Texas that can get the 4.5 inches. And then also Arkansas can actually reach up to 5 inches too. So we have a lot of rain, some scattered areas. New Orleans Louisiana can get up to 2 inches here. So we're gonna have some scattered areas that have a lot of rain, which will be right here, and actually parts of the Memphis area and in the northern part of Mississippi. All right, guys, let's check out the Cape, the amount of Cape we have here. So yeah, let's just go ahead and check it out. So if we go near the Oklahoma area, we can actually have the northern part of the state. We actually have 4,600, 4,700 near the near Bartlesville, And then in Stillwater, we have 4,000. In Enid, we have 4,100. We actually have 5,300 for the northern part of the state, actually. We have 4,000, 5,300. So yeah, basically, I have really high numbers as we go in the tonight, and then Wichita 4,100. But let's get all the way to tomorrow. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. we're gonna have some really scattered high amounts of CAPE. Like in southern part of Texas, we have 4,100, 3,000. Austin at 3,200. Dallas at 2,200. Little Rock at 2,100, and northern part of Louisiana at 3,100. Near the Amarillo area, west of that area, can actually have 3,400 and 3,000. But let's go to 11 p.m. Tomorrow at 11 p.m. we're gonna have some really high amounts of CAPE in the western part of Texas. So we have 4,900. We have 5,000. And then we have another area that actually has 4,400, and then we have a 4,500, I believe, and then the rest will be like 2,700. And then the southern part of Texas, really down south, we have 3,400 and 3,500. But let's go to Wednesday. It's really probably going to be really high numbers, stretching all the way up to the Kansas area. In Wichita, we have 2,900. North of that, we have 3,200. Southern Oklahoma, we have 2,000, or we actually have 3,000. Northern Texas, 3,200. And then we have 3,900. Right here is going to be the highest amount in your San Antonio area. The San Antonio area, we have 4,100, 4,200. So that's tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Let's go tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we have some more high numbers for the near the San Antonio area, but near the College Station, actually. We have 4,200, 4,300, 4,400. College Station will actually be at 4,000. If we go near the Wichita Falls area, we have 4,000 and 4,100. Wichita Falls is always going to have like near the highest amounts. And then near Lawton, we have 4,000. And then we have like 3,800 north of that area. And then once we go to 11 p.m., it's really going to be a bit calmer. And then we go to Thursday. And then Thursday we'll have a lot more energy near the Dallas area. Dallas, we have 4,900. But actually on Dallas, we have 1,500. It's going to be more the western part of Dallas. And then we have 3,500 near the 4,000s in southern Arkansas. And then near the College Station in San Antonio area, we have 4,600, 4,000. Yeah, 4,600. And let's go to 8 o'clock tomorrow. 8 o'clock tomorrow, we can actually have some really high CAPE numbers for parts of Shreveport, and actually 5,200s. Actually, we have some 5,200s. We have really high numbers near the College Station, 5,200. In the north central part of Louisiana, 4,700, and then we have 4,700, and then we have 3,500. 4,600 for the western part of, or eastern part of Arkansas, and then it goes down a bit more. It chills down a bit more. We only have like some 3,000s. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are safe now, and there's actually a good chance I'm going live tomorrow, so be sure to watch that, guys. And so yeah, have a wonderful day, and yeah, see you guys in the next video, and please do not forget to like and subscribe.